Hi guys, and welcome back to another Let's Build episode. So last time we were building up the market square of Old Town. And in this episode we're going to be building up more of Lordsport and making our way to the waterfront of the bay. Now if you're new to the channel at all, we do a lot of tutorials and time lapses just like this one, so make sure to hit the subscribe button. Also, if you guys are new to the series at all, I'll leave a link in the card above to the full playlist as well as in the description. Also going to leave a link to my full Let's Build Pataria series as well if you guys want to check out that. Anyway, let's get into building. So the first thing I want to do is just do a little bit of planning, mainly on this hill here. So this hill does go down quite a bit, it's a good 5 to 7 blocks, something like that. I wanted to do a lot of angled buildings. I also wanted to have another arch on the side, so the yellow piece that we've got there, that's going to be a nice archway. We're going to have a small sub-road that comes from the main market square down, so that's going past what is going to be the Merchants Guild. So that Grand Tower, going with the Merchants Guild for that. So we've also got quite a lot of other angled buildings here, as well as a couple of smaller areas for docks as well, so I wanted to get that in. So coming on to the first house, like usual, yeah, doing angled houses. I'm still playing around with a lot of these kind of like designs and feeling kind of how things work and how things would look good. So in this case I pushed forwards one of the sides to make a peaked roof on the side of the house and actually brought this down, so this actually gets stuck out down one floor lower than the rest of it, and it actually looks really good in my opinion. I'm really happy with how it turned out. If I didn't do it in a really systematic way, however, with having a look at how the blocks would have been, then that wouldn't have made any sense at all, but yeah, using some jungle wood on the side there. Then coming around to the side, because we're getting behind the market square, I want to have some kind of smaller housing. So these are more shoved in. A lot of them are going to have warehouses underneath. So this is from the main dockyards. So people can then rent out these smaller warehouses underneath, and they are really quite small. So you're not going to be able to get like a cart out there. It's all going to be like, you know, people having to grab things up. But I want to make these, yeah, smaller houses, which don't have as much room, and that's where you're going to get a lot of the workers, especially on these lower docks that we're going to be building in the next episode or so. So yeah, I still wanted to have it looking quite nice and stylish, and still bring out quite a lot of that colour that we've kind of been using throughout the town and throughout the city even, but you know, not as bright, I guess, is what I was going for. So not having as many bright colours because we're moving away from the town square, moving away from the main road. However, this part that's on the bay is still going to be the rich area, and my idea is going to be that later on we're going to get to the other side of Old Town, and that's where we're going to have a bit more slums because it's not really going to be central to the kind of wealth, the economy of the actual city. So coming around to this nice archway, I love making these archways. I wanted to make a different one instead, but these are going to be quite a prominent feature, I think, that I'm going to be using just because I enjoy them so much. So I've gone for a really kind of a sharp one going up on here. It's kind of big enough to get a cart down. However, you couldn't actually get that cart all the way into the market square. It's a little bit too small, but you could at least get some, you know, travel coming through here. And then we've got this main building, again going with the barrel design, kind of having the barrels in. I just really love the look of it, and this time go with like more of an indigo kind of blue type of building. So this one being on one of the main roads that's going down to the lower ports at least, and having this side road as well. It's going to be, you know, quite a central building. I want to make it look a little bit fancier, also because we're on the kind of like straight angle. It means we can do things that kind of look really good just naturally, rather than having to do them on an angle and kind of play around with it. Now that left this small gap that's right at the back here, which is backing onto, just on the right there is actually the Merchants Guild, so moving on to that tower, that kind of white part of it. So I wanted to build, you know, a really kind of cramped in house here. It's only like 5 blocks going to be wide, but because of the 2 walls and the sides, the actual interior gives me about 7 blocks to play around with, which is quite cool. So yeah, I'm quite happy with how that all turned out. Now, because of that, once that building was in, there's lots of this room around on the side of the Merchants' main guild building that I wanted to fill in. So I decided to put in, you know, lots of like window boxes, but push them out. And then I also had a look at this side bit, and I was thinking, God, this is so blank. What can we do with it? I decided to put in a tower, and actually, I'm really happy with how this turned out. It's also got an absolutely awesome view of the bay because, of course, where the height is of this tower, it can look over completely of that bay, which is going to be really, really cool. And I think the Merchants Guild would definitely do that, as well as having their grand tower as well. So coming around to the front and the side kind of part of it here, building another angled building. This time it's quite a big angled building. Because of where it's situated, this is going to have quite a few, you know, apartments in it, rather than actually having any shops. And again, warehouses underneath on that bottom floor, especially with how the hill worked with this one. A lot of the warehouses just fit in perfectly because of the the angle going down the hill, you know, that whole floor is almost always cut into the actual hillside, which really works. And again, me playing around with lots of different bits of designs with these angled buildings and trying to get a feel for how we can actually variate them, what we can do with them, building in some balconies here as well, because I can imagine that some of the people in this house would want balconies, but going for a more dull colour as well. So try not to make this part of it too bright. I want to have that a little bit later on when we get more to the noble districts. We're going to have lots and lots of colour and lots of bright, vibrant colours. Then just going around to the side here and building up a really nice kind of pathway going along the back there where we built those first couple of houses. It's really cool to actually link up all these bits. So here we go, guys. Here's the back streets that I've been able to build. I'm really happy. This is actually one of my favourite parts so far of even the town. Just because it feels so, I don't know, whenever I've gone to like medieval cities, you always get this kind of feeling of these really cramped streets that not that many people go down, and it just has that kind of really nice feel about it. This kind of like lived-in feel, like the houses are popped up around these main roads. All those main roads have been built over, you know, time rather than them being like planned. And they've got all these little alleyways that come around. So then we've got the houses that we built in here. We've got the nice indigo one. We've got that kind of almost salmon pink kind of dull colour. Nice like purple ones here. This whole area here, I love the look of it. Just how it's all cramped in. We've even got that little house cramped in, which is just going to be a couple of apartments. But that's it, guys, for this episode. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. If you have, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys on the next one.